I'm filming my podcast. Ladies who drink in pink. Okay. Everybody, welcome. We are at the first official setup of the first episode in the Tea with V room. Melissa and I were filming in off-market podcast room, and the long-awaited pink room is here. My second favorite announcement is our first guest ever on Tea with V in our room is the one and only, from mom life to CEO energy, the dirty truth behind the Dirty Pelican, the Miss Dirty Pelican herself. Ladies and gentlemen, buckle up. Today we have the queen of cocktails and all things bougie as fuck with Malvina Blloshmi. Did I say it right?
Close.
Malvina
Blloshmi.
Malvina Blloshmi in the house. If you haven't heard of Dirty Pelican, who even are you? Let's give a warm welcome to Malvina.
Thank you so much, Victoria.
I should clap. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm honored to be your first official guest.
I'm honored. The honor is mine.
Well, I think that you are like one of the greatest people ever. You are such a sweet person inside and out, and you're beautiful.
Thank you.
And you are a true girl's girl.
I did not pay her to say this.
No, this
we
comes
just
from
really
the heart.
love each other.
We do. We definitely do. And I think the world of you, and you are just very strong and balanced. And I'm happy to be here with you and share this moment and talk everything life, real life.
It's mutual. Very mutual. You know that.
And you look stunning, by the way.
You. So
love
do you.
The suit, love everything.
We just love each other, and we could go on for hours.
Yes,
I'm going to give them a little lowdown. Today, we're talking all things cocktails to the reality of being a mom, because Malvina is the mother of the most beautiful boy on earth, Leonardo. My favorite little heartthrob. And she is an entrepreneur. She is a workaholic. She is a hustler. She is an incredible friend. She is a woman that empowers many women. And we're making a drink because why the hell not? It's Friday, right?
Absolutely.
And
it's Friday.
We always find an excuse with Dirty Pelican. Dirty Pelican, here it is. We're going to get into the dirty of it. But this is a staple at my house. We'll talk about how we met, how they started the brand, everything. But this brand is always on my bar.
Well,
it is in every family member's house. It is stocked in our office. It is at every Adamo event. We are just... Not only because I love her and her husband so much, but because I actually believe in their brand. And a lot of our beliefs of the way we live life fall in line, clean living, and it all comes back to your brand. So I'm excited to dig into that. We're going to talk about how we met and that fateful crate and barrel tasting moment. Do you want to tell us?
Absolutely. I mean, it was, I want to say... 2 years ago,
I think
2.5, 3 years maybe.
It might be 3 years.
3 years, yeah. So we were doing a tasting for Dirty Pelican and Crate and Barrel, and we were about to wrap up our tasting.
Yeah, you were closing.
I was like a few months pregnant, I remember at the time, and we were about to close up, and Victoria comes by, walking by the kitchen area with Blaine, and I saw them, and I was like, oh my gosh.
In like workout clothes, like running through the store.
Yeah, you were so chic, like the both of you. And I was like, oh my gosh, like they look like they would enjoy a clean drink. So I approached them to tell them about Dirty Pelican, and we hit it off. I think we stood there for like 30 minutes just
more,
talking.
I think.
More,
yeah.
I don't know. You know, when you're having time, a fun time flies.
Right.
So then they tried the Dirty Pelican, and they definitely bought some to bring home. Mm-hmm. And another funny story, and I think you should tell this part, but with your mom.
Yeah.
And ever since then, we just stayed in touch. And you were definitely going through the wedding planning, so it was a little hard to like really get together all the time.
Yes.
And then with setting up the new office, we've both been through so much since then.
Since the day we met. I mean, you were pregnant and you brought a human into this world.
I know, which was a beautiful journey.
I'll also never forget when I met you, this long, beautiful, natural blonde hair.
Thank you.
And wearing this cute, tight little dress with her belly. And I think it was green. And then you had your green ring. And I was like, oh my God, also chic. Just very like, and her husband's beautiful. They're an attractive couple. So, you know, people attract to beauty. And me and Blaine start talking to her, and we just rambled on for, I honestly think it was like an hour. The store was getting
sure.
ready to close. It was a Saturday.
Yes,
and
it was
yeah,
Saturday.
like my first impression of Dirty Pelican and why I became obsessed. I am a sucker for a love story. I think everybody knows that. I'm a romantic. And before even tasting the cocktail and learning how it's clean, and you know, that's how me and my husband live a clean life, I fell in love with their brand, the story behind it, how they came up to it, that they were a husband and wife who came together, who invented this. And I'll leave the story for Malvina to tell. But I fell in love with the story of the brand, and then I tasted it and fell even more in love with the product. And it's clean, it's low in sugar. It's just, I also hate sugary cocktails. Like when I typically order just lemon, or, you know, I don't like all the sugar.
Same thing, actually.
Yeah, and I loved lychee martinis, but then I couldn't drink them because the sugar would give me a headache. And this is the fix to all of that, which we'll get into. But that's how we met. And then I kind of was hard to reach for about a year. We never lost contact, like over DM, supporting each other, like go girl to each other's wins.
Yeah, definitely.
But then I was getting engaged. I was planning a wedding. I was building this office, moving back to New Jersey. I was renovating too at the time. That's why I was at Crate and Barrel.
Yeah. Oh my
I forgot about that.
We've both been through so much.
So much.
Because I've been
You were renovating. Yeah.
I was renovating and pregnant.
Yeah.
And have my corporate job.
Right.
And the Dirty Pelican.
Oh yeah. This is not her primary job. So we'll also get into that. She really juggles it all. And we stayed in touch. And I love a relentless friend. Like I love someone who's consistent and stays in touch. And I found that in you. And then we started hanging out more finally. She came to my wedding, which like made my life. And then it was it from there. Like our husbands became friends. Our group of friends just intermingled, and we created this group of people just organically.
Well, I think that, Victoria, you're definitely a connector.
Yeah.
And
I think I get a high off connecting, honestly.
Yes, you're a romantic relationship type of connector, but
Right.
you're also a friends and business type of connector. And I think it's incredible because everyone that you've attracted into your life is just such an incredible person in every way, you know, personally, professionally. And I think that says a lot about you without really
Thank you.
saying too many words.
Example, Malvina had a couple over for dinner last night.
Yeah.
And they...
Tom and
Alan, we love you guys so much. Ornare, we're going to have them on.
Yes.
Shout out. And they were at my wedding. I think I sat you guys together? No.
You did.
I did.
Yeah.
And so they hit it off. And now they're having like couples dinners in the suburbs together. And Tom and Alan came from the city. So that like makes my dreams.
I think that at the core, we are all very similar people.
Right.
And, you know, we all have city energy living in Bergen County, New Jersey, which is suburbia as it gets. And I think that we all have the same belief system. We like the same things. We live the same lifestyle, and we connect over that, which is really incredible.
Okay, so not to stay off track, we'll move on from how we met, but there is a funny part of the story that I do have to tell. So I think we're friends for like maybe 6 months at this point.
Yeah.
Right? And Dirty Pelican became a staple in my house. My mom calls me one day and she was like, oh my God, I was just at Stu Leonard and I picked you up these like mixers because I think it was summer, and it was the jalapeno, the margarita.
It was the jalapeno margarita. I think Brian was doing a tasting at Stu Leonard's in Paramus.
Yes.
And she had walked by when he was doing the tasting. So she had tasted the spicy. I believe you had like a different flavor at your house.
Yeah, I forget what the first one you gave me. And then she bought the jalapeno spicy margarita, and she calls me. She's like, oh, I got a few bottles. I'm going to bring them over to you. You have to try it. It's like organic. It's low in sugar. And I was like, what's the name? She's like, it's Dirty Pelican. And I was like, those are my friends. I was like, I just met them. She goes, oh, and let me tell you, he was really cute who was selling it. And I was like, yeah, that's my friend's husband.
That it was so cute.
So
that was super cute.
Brian going around is, I think, helping the company.
It definitely is. He does a good job.
That was a great story. But we are sipping our water now. It is Friday, so we will be breaking midway between, and Malvina's going to whip us up a Dirty Pelican.
Of course.
Right?
Absolutely. And to stay on brand, we've picked the lychee flavor since it's pink room, pink outfits. We're really loving the pink right now.
And lychee is like I think that's my favorite.
It might be your favorite.
I
think it
always,
is.
but yeah.
Which, yeah, it's great.
I like all of them.
It's so refreshing.
Okay, so before we get into motherhood, which I'm really excited to dive into, because as I'm preparing to the mindset of starting a family, I've been asking Malvina a million questions, and she's so lovingly, generously always answering. But I want to tell your story because you have a really amazing story, and I don't know if many people know it, but
Probably not. I have not really shared much other than with my close friends.
So tell everyone where you were born, how you came here, and how that was.
Well, I was born in Albania, and I lived there for almost 13 years. So
It's a long time.
Here. Yeah, I moved here right before 8th grade, so over the summer. And when I was in Albania, I was a very outgoing person. I lived in the city and had a lot of friends, and I really enjoyed participating in school events and hosting all the like national holidays at school.
That's your personality, for sure.
I love it.
Yeah.
I really, and I loved it back then even more so. And I would do like the kids' fashion shows. And I wanted to be a fashion designer. I used to enjoy drawing.
That's where your passion for fashion comes from.
Yeah, that's
right?
Yeah,
which we'll also get to. She does great on her Instagram links of outfits and doing high to low mixes, which...
I'm a big high to low mix
That's the only way to go.
Yeah, because you really, like most people can't really afford all designer stuff. So whenever like people... frown on Zara or whatever. I'm like,
why?
Okay, what are you supposed to not feed your children so you can buy Brunello Cucinelli? Like now all people
Brunello's like on my vision board for later in life.
Exactly. But you need Zara. Zara is there for all of us too.
I'm in my Zara suit today.
And you know what? I'm in Zara too. Zara, H&M. I really love
Bring
them.
us back to middle school.
Yeah, so fashion was always a passion of mine since I was a kid. I would draw things and have my mom sew it for me because I didn't like the clothes that they sold in Albania. And so it was always like I would draw, like the drawings would go up in my class. Right. And then when I moved here, I would still draw, but then I sort of abandoned that a little bit.
But you've always been creative.
I've always been very creative and also very good with like math. And when I moved here, I didn't speak English. And in 8th grade, you can imagine that the world is not a friendly place.
It's pretty mean.
Middle school was not a friendly place.
Pretty mean.
For an 8th grader that didn't speak English and didn't know like the popular, like normal popular culture things. I mean,
you're in a different country, like at 13.
Yeah, exactly. So I actually spoke Spanish.
Okay. Where'd you learn that?
So I learned it when I was younger in Albania on TV. I learned Italian and Spanish. And when I moved here, I would speak Spanish and made some friends that were native Spanish speakers. And I remember one day I was in my math class with Mr. Lombardi, what's his name?
Oh my
Super
God.
Nice guy. And I was like teaching math to like a few friends because I was so advanced in math in Spanish. So he walked into the class and he was like, what is going on?
Right. You're like teaching.
Yeah, so like it was a journey. It took me about 1 year in my ESL class learning English.
That's pretty fast.
It was fast.
Well, why don't you tell everyone one of your other secret talents? You speak four languages.
Yeah. Like, so Italian, Spanish, Albanian, and English.
Very impressed.
Thank you.
And I do have to add, after our Galentine's night out, we had a Spanish-speaking Uber driver, and she just started whipping out like a whole conversation. I was just so impressed.
Oh, thank you.
I feel like, I always want to learn. I'm so mad I don't know Italian, and I try. But like learning languages is so impressive to me, and knowing them, and it just gets you so far in life and around the world. I feel it's so useful.
It's definitely so fun.
So Spanish, Albanian, English.
And Italian. Yeah.
Also why I love you.
Yeah, I do love languages. They are fun, and for me it was great because it did help me make a lot of friends. Right. At that time when it was very difficult to make friends because there was not that many Albanian people in my school. I was going
to ask, did you meet any or even your family meet Albanian people that you became friends with here?
Not really. Right. The community was smaller, especially at that time. Right. Nowadays, I feel like I hear things. There's so many Albanians everywhere, but at that time, there wasn't that many, and that many that were in my school, right? My age, and that also had similar interests, you know.
Right.
So whenever you make friends, you kind of have to align in at least a couple of ways. But I was really focused on learning English and integrating myself into the American ways of doing things. And, you know, it took a few years over high school and participating in sports. And here we are many, many years later. I think that the journey being difficult is something a lot of people experience. And I'm not mad about it now because it made me stronger in a way.
What do you think was the biggest lesson that you took from it?
That, you know, sometimes people could be mean and you have to rise above. It took years for me to really learn how to rise above in a very gracious way.
It's hard.
At first, I would react very, like, you know, instantaneously without really measuring my words or myself.
Right.
Just very hurt. And then over the years, I've just learned to capture myself and say, you know what, like, that's your thoughts. That's a reflection on you. And how I react is a reflection on me. I don't need to focus on reacting based on your personality. So
and that's hard especially at a young age.
You don't understand the difference. And then once you do, it really
becomes like a
easy.
reflex.
Yeah. And sometimes, listen, it's like human nature to just react because some things are really to the nth degree. But for the most part, I think that you learn that difference, that you're not reacting based on you. You have to react based on yourself.
Yeah. You are a very calm and level-headed person. Like, I feel like that's just your demeanor in general.
I think so. And like I said, it's been years of practicing,
and
being disappointed and
I'm
just getting up and trying again.
I'm sure that journey here is what made you who you are today.
I do not regret a single thing. Life has been hard, but I don't regret anything because every time now I look at Leonardo, my baby, I just see the most amazing little human. And I realized that everything in life had to happen exactly as it did for him to be here. And for me to be able to be the kind of mother that I am, I've had to learn all these lessons.
Right.
And so
to make you the best mother that you are, which is an amazing mother.
Thank you.
Oh my God,
I take pride in that.
He's a heartthrob. I wish he was here today.
He's so loving, which is like the most. I'm most proud of him for that.
Like he will go up to a stranger and hug them.
Not every stranger.
No, remember that little girl?
He loves little girls.
He's gonna be a heartthrob.
I know.
You're in trouble.
But I will make sure that he's a really good boy because
I know.
That's very important.
You are gonna raise a good man. I have no doubt.
Yes,
of that.
Absolutely. That's very important.
So, you know, I would say being in elementary school in general, even if you're not coming from another country or an immigrant or not even speaking the language, is just hard in the U.S. And I'm not saying that as a blanket statement, but I could speak from my own experience. They're just mean at that age, and there's bullies. So I imagine on top of it, being an immigrant, not knowing the language makes it even harder.
I didn't know like simple things. And, you know, my parents didn't have cable TV because in Albania at the time, a salary was like $150 a month. So this is 22 years ago.
Right.
And just give away my age there.
Yeah.
For those that are good at math. So $150 a month is what people earned in Albania. So when we moved here, we had sold our apartment in the city, which was decent money for Albania. But for here, it was insignificant. And what my parents were earning here was like really low wages because they had just moved here. My mom went from a stay-at-home mom to working to be able to support the family. Right. And so they were minding their pennies for sure. And I didn't have cable TV. I had to watch like whatever was on. And I think that's how I was watching Spanish TV and like improving my Spanish significantly. So
it's amazing.
Always looking for the upside in the situation.
I mean, you're good at being a glass half full.
I am.
So from that experience, what would you take to teach your son through that? That
no matter how hard life is, always look for one positive aspect of it and really focus your energy on that because it will just multiply.
It's beautiful. You know what? I don't think people realize that life is actually supposed to be hard, right? Like we come into this world, my cousin Missy tells me, struggling, right? Like coming out of a birth canal. And like life is actually just hard. And it's not supposed to be easy. But when we have the moments that it is easy, or it is beautiful, or we're laughing with friends, or we have a win at work, or even if it's just like my coffee tasted really good today, like, or, you know, or just I have a roof over, just the tiniest, simplest win. Taking time to like stop and appreciate and have gratitude for those moments is what makes life, because life is just really hard.
That's a very great and important point that you make, because gratitude is the key ingredient in finding happiness.
Yeah.
I know there's people that practice gratitude and they set a time to sit and like write things down that they're grateful for. I'm actually not a very like practicing person in nature like that. I tend to just sprinkle things into my life. Yeah. So I literally sit every morning, and Brian thinks this is like, sometimes like he's like, really? That's what you do? But I will like just sit and have coffee in our living room and just think, I'm so grateful for my windows.
Right.
I'm so grateful that the sun is out and it's shining through my windows today. I know it sounds crazy.
No, but yeah.
Well, yes, it's a beautiful space, and I've created that space based on the vision, and also because this is what you're supposed to do in life. Yeah. Create things that make you happy.
Right.
And your home is the most important place, because that's where you wake up every day. That's where you go to sleep every day. So being in a space that you truly enjoy, where it can take you to that level of being grateful for the simplest
Stay tuned
things.
for episode 2, because we can talk about that all in one episode.
Fine. You're right.
No, like that's how we met in Crate and Barrel. Obviously, we like home goods, and we really bonded over interior design, and we both have the same style. So we don't like the modern new. Not that I don't love and appreciate it, but we're both kind of old souls, I would say, and we like vintage hunting and.
We do have a lot of similarities, I think, in our styles.
Right.
A lot.
Yeah. And I'm a firm believer that, like you said, it starts at home. And if that doesn't feel good, if you don't feel relaxed and at serenity or just proud even, no matter how big or small your space is.
That's it.
If you make it then you can perform better in the world. You're just happier. I truly believe that.
Yeah, you have to just find the things that you love and integrate those into your space, whether it's the office, at home, anywhere. And whenever things are good and bad, I know that people tend to cling on to, oh my gosh, like how do I get what I want when things are bad?
Right.
But the whole trick, I think, is that you have to focus on those positive aspects that you have when things are good.
Where the energy flows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when things are good, you really have to pay attention. And like still, it's like flower. It's like watering a flower only when it's dying.
Yeah.
You're supposed to water it while it's alive.
Right.
And so while things are good.
In like a delusional way.
Yeah.
Like that people would feel like, really? That's how much I have to do? Yeah. Like.
Yeah. Water
when I want to manifest abundance or whatever, like I pretend that the number of money is in my bank account that I want. And my husband's like, that's not how it works. Like you actually, and I'm like, I get it. But if I believe that I'm in a scarcity mindset, or if I believe the negative things, then that will actually conquer, that will prosper.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, your thoughts are very powerful.
Extremely.
And I know it's hard to completely like 100% be always 100% positive.
I mean, I'm the victim of my own negative thoughts sometimes. And I'm like, I'm thinking these negative things that are leading me to have negative feelings or bad energy.
And, you know, I catch myself sometimes too having like negative thoughts. And I'm like, okay, you had your hour of like sadness. Let's jump out of it.
I know.
And, you know, I think that for me, I don't know about you, but for me, some happy tunes.
Yep.
Looking back at like happy photos. Yeah. A good movie, depending on the time of the day. Going for a drive with my favorite music on really snaps me out of like that sad moment.
And those are all such simple things to do to change your whole mood around.
And then you really just have to put the world into perspective.
Right.
There's so much going on in the world right now. So much that's way worse than what I'm experiencing in that moment.
Right.
And I tell myself, okay, you are being ungrateful for everything that you have. And so snap out of it.
Right.
And honestly, like,
it works.
It works for me. It really does. It's very short-lived. I'm not saying I don't go there, but I go there. But
you allow yourself to sit in the feeling until you're like, okay, enough. Time is up.
Yeah, and there's a reason you feel certain things. Sometimes the world happens, and there's so much going on in the world.
Right.
Like you said, life is not supposed to be easy.
No.
But you're supposed to have people in your life
Right.
that help make it feel
You
easier.
choose that.
You choose
and you could
that.
easily choose to get yourself out of a bad mindset. So
Between friends and family, for sure.
Yeah. And that leads me to our next topic, which is great because we're very real. Every time we talk, we have very raw, honest conversations. Like, that's what I really appreciate and love about you from day one. Like, there's no fluff.
No.
Like, we both are who we are.
Yeah.
Both wear our hearts on our sleeve.
Absolutely. The only way to live.
Right? So I want to be real. Like, how do you actually balance it all? Because you do everything. You and your husband have this incredible brand. You actually are also in commercial real estate. Like, that's her moneymaker full-time job right now.
Yes.
She is a mother. She's an at-home interior designer. She is influencing high-to-low style outfits at home. Like, you have your hands in everything. You're also a great friend. You're a great daughter. You're a great sister. You really balance all of these things. And I want to know how you do it. And like, I don't know. I don't have children yet, but people speak about mom guilt. And like, are you ever feeling like you're pulled in directions? And how do you handle that?
Well, that's interesting that you point out the mom guilt thing. I truly sometimes, because my corporate hours are definitely 9 to 5 and sometimes it definitely like spills over that. But I make it a point to spend time with Leonardo before I go to work. So in the mornings when he wakes up, which lately he's been doing at 6 a.m., I'm going nuts. I don't have any time. I told myself I'm going to get the 6 to 7 a.m. to myself. Now he's waking up at 6, so I really get no time to myself. A lot of times the babysitter comes and I'm still in my pajamas and I'm like, okay, now it's time for me to go put myself together, which is very important. Very important.
Tell us why.
I don't have the words for why it's so important, but you want to be there and show as an example to everyone in your life, including yourself, and you feel more productive when you are put together.
I agree.
And so even if I'm wearing sweatpants, but at least like I kind of just like put a little lip gloss on, brush my hair, like the very simple things. You don't always have to have like the most impeccable outfit.
No.
Those little things, you show up for your partner, you show up for your child as an example, because our children are always watching and listening to everything we do. And we don't want to set the example that, mom is a bum all day.
Right.
Even if I'm working.
Yeah. I just feel like it's also...
I'm making it a point.
Exactly. Like, it's a representation of how you feel about yourself.
Exactly.
Which... you want to instill that in them.
Right.
So your daily routine, because like I want to give people who are watching and listening like real tangible things to take from this and what they can actually do, or even if it's like one hack they pick up. What is your time management hack? Because you do handle your time very well and it's very admirable. So give us a quick hack.
Yeah. So I guess I can't really be super quick about it. But,
that's fine. Yeah.
I try to... I've never perfected the time management thing. Mm-hmm. There's always a million things going on, and I try to tackle them as they come by level of importance. And like I said before, there's one thing I never compromise is the time that I get with Leonardo.
Right.
So as a mom, I have to have that time with him in the morning and after my corporate job.
Yeah.
And sometimes after I put him to bed, which is around 7:38,
right.
I sometimes have to go back to work. Sometimes I have to do work for Dirty Pelican. Mm-hmm. And sometimes I can pay attention to Brian as my partner.
Right.
So
there's also giving
there's a rotation.
Time to your partner.
I'm not a very scheduled person.
But I think that is perfecting it.
Yes, it's just always
it's a rotation,
It's a rotation. And I think that what people can take from it is because it's hard. A lot of times people that do a lot have somebody assisting or like they're delegating to a lot of people.
Right.
And for me as a regular person, I realize that it's expensive to delegate to other people for me personally.
Yeah.
And so we're not there yet.
Right.
As a couple, as a brand, we're not there yet, unfortunately. And
you will be.
Yeah, once we're there, it's you take on new challenges, and so you're able to delegate some of the older challenges. So for right now, the only way is by doing everything ourselves.
Right.
And like I said, it's teamwork, right? Like Brian takes on some stuff, communication, and telling yourself that, okay, like I really have to prioritize this for today.
Right.
So like you set your 2 to 3 priorities, try not to overwhelm yourself. And then you just, honestly, as things come, you just try to do them.
Right.
There's really no...
Because like I would guess like what you're saying is not every area of life needs you of high importance at the same moment, right?
Yes.
So like what needs me first? Who do I have to tend to first? Oh, is it myself even, right? Sometimes.
You're absolutely right. Sometimes I do say that, okay, I am overwhelmed. I don't know what to do first. And you just need a reset because I feel like I'm not doing anything. And so in those...
You're like stuck.
Yeah. In those instances, maybe I just go for a quick drive, get a coffee or something and tell myself, okay, I know technically I went backwards by misusing time, but that gave me the fuel that I needed to move forward.
To reset.
And then I come back and I'm like more productive.
You're better.
Yeah. But every morning I try to make a quick list. So
me too.
To get back to your like, what's
and
the
at
hack?
Night. Yeah.
That's the hack.
Right.
I'm a paper type of girl.
Priorities.
I write my priorities down. And then sometimes like it's helpful because I'm very forgetful. I'll put like, if something is due at a certain date, I will put that on my calendar.
Yeah.
Due a day before.
Okay.
Because then it's like I'm not leaving it for the absolute last minute, which a lot of things tend to...
It just slips there sometimes. I think that's great advice.
But prioritize your 2 to 3 things.
Right.
And
per day. Like take it...
If you think you're going to accomplish 5, you're wrong.
Right.
So put 2 things on that list that you know could slip to tomorrow or the day after.
Like don't set yourself up, for example.
Yeah.
Be realistic about it. I mean, don't set yourself up for failure. Thank you. Okay, so the ugly side of entrepreneurship. No one talks about it that often.
It's hard to even put it into words.
Right.
And, when people don't experience things firsthand, it's very hard for them to believe exactly what happens and how it happens. And, I'll kind of slowly go into quickly how we started Dirty Pelican and like tell you along the time some of the real ugly. Yeah,
next.
To the meat of...
I would all right, what would you say is just like the thing no one talks about? And if somebody's listening that has kids at home or is a mom to be or thinking about being a mother, what is your advice for moms who want to start their own business?
Just know that you are going to have to invest a lot of time and effort. Mm-hmm. And the reason why you're doing it is very important because, like you said before, the mom guilt. Right. It's easy to interpret it that way. That like this is mom thing. Like you're feeling guilty because you're doing something for mom. But truly, at least for me, everything that I do is with my family in mind. Is to make my parents proud. My partner. My husband, Brian, proud. Like there's really like, it's an important thing there. And other than that, Leonardo, although he's very little, to make him proud. And I think that I'm going to be there for him as a better mom if I'm happy and fulfilled and doing things that can better his life along the way. Right. Then, if you think about it, like you could also sit at home with your kid all day, but then have like financial issues. And so your time,
maybe not be happy.
Or not be happy. So then
and
your
that's
time...
okay to not sit home if you don't want to.
Exactly.
And it's also okay to do that if that's what you want to do. Well, and that makes you feel good.
The whole goal there is to really just... be present with your family in a better way, a better version of you. And that doesn't mean, eliminate the time. You have to make the time for the people that you love. Right. But following your dreams and doing the work that you think is important for you, whether that's at home or at a corporate job or a business, I think that you have to remember why you're doing it. You're setting up an example and you're choosing that the time that you do spend with your family, your children, your husband, partner, mom, dad, brother, sister, that time is being used to truly like be present for each other and not focusing on some aspect of that's not that positive because, maybe.
Right. Well, you see, folks, I told you she was a glass half full. So let's not even use the word mom guilt. That's what people like to say. But Malvina, it's not even in her vocabulary because she believes, and I agree with that the time you're spending to build your business or your company. So for the moms who are thinking about being an entrepreneur or just starting that business, I would say just go do it because that is for your family, for your son, and there should be no guilt about building that legacy for them.
Exactly. And you just have to learn to, and it's not something that you master overnight. Right. There will be days where, you see your children less. And that's okay as long as it's not every day. Right. But there will be days where things are a little more difficult. And that's where, a good partner comes in handy. family. Like my mom and dad definitely are with Leonardo a lot of times when I can't be, because it's important for me to have family present with him.
Yeah.
Somebody that instilled the values in me.
Right.
To instill the same values in
That's
him
great
while
advice.
I'm absent from his life.
Right.
So, I mean, if you can, that is really
yeah, and not everybody can.
Not everybody can.
Yeah.
But if you can, that is definitely
It's
a great
definitely
way to
amazing
kind of just
thing to
add
be grateful
to that
for.
experience.
I love that mom advice. I'm noting all of it. Now, on to the Dirty Pelican herself. The journey. The moment you said, F this, we're making our own mixer. We're starting our own brand. Tell us the story. Walk us through it. This is my favorite story, so please tell the folks listening.
Yes. So Brian and I are both very much about celebrating the little moments in life.
That's why we get along.
Yeah. It really is.
Yeah.
Like people sometimes say, oh, it's not important to celebrate a birthday. Oh, it's just another day.
Oh my God, they're crazy.
But it really is important because at the end of a lifelong life, we remember those moments. It's hard to remember absolutely everything we went through. And so it's important for those moments to really be the best that they could have possibly been. And I was raised to, we would drink over celebratory moments.
Right.
And so drinking is definitely a celebration.
Yes.
You drink in moderation. And for Brian and I, it was both the same thing. We enjoyed a good cocktail. It's an experience. It takes you somewhere.
That's how I feel.
Yeah, you would sit home and you're having a drink, but you don't feel like you're home because just like music can teleport you to a different time
and add both
place.
of those together.
And then if you add, exactly.
Right.
Sometimes we're really just hanging out in the yard or inside the home and we have some kind of music
some Frank
going
Sinatra
on. Or like,
jazz,
some French music.
Who are we seeing in October?
Ludovico, I
Yes.
believe. Yeah.
Yeah, good vibes.
Yeah,
all right, so
very
back to Dirty Pelican story.
Yeah, so we're very we connected on that. We would love a good cocktail. So whenever we go out to dinner, we'd get like a really good cocktail. Or we would ask at the restaurant. And it's kind of incredible, but even restaurants haven't gotten it right. And a lot of it comes down to the money, but we'll go into that later. And so we were actually at a Memorial Day party with a friend's Memorial Day party down the shore. And we had bought some cocktail mixers at the store and they were not good. And so we were sitting there adding fresh fruit to our drinks. And everybody was like, can you make me one too, please? It's delicious.
They like yours.
Can you make me one too? So we got stuck just making drinks the whole time.
Like you became the bartender?
Yeah. And we're like, well, we want to play cornhole and watch the sunset. You know, we want to do other things. And so we couldn't believe that there was nothing readily available that was healthy, first and foremost.
So what
delicious.
you bought, tell me as we all know, it was sugary, calorie dense.
Yeah, first of all, they were just there was some margarita flavors, but there's appletinis and stuff kind of outdated type of recipes.
Right.
And it's just very fake, filled with preservative. The color is this vibrant green. And
things you can't read in the ingredients.
Exactly. Things you can't even pronounce. So,
if you can't read it, don't drink it.
Yeah, which is so hard because a lot of food and drinks have so many bad ingredients in them. And I'm grateful that right now we're going through this whole let's look at the labels and what we're feeding our children and ourselves.
We've both been ahead of this curve, but I'm glad people are catching on. Also, nothing we say is by a doctor or by an expert. This is just our experience.
Just our experience.
Yeah, disclaimer.
Yeah. So we were buying these mixers and they were just they tasted fake and sugary and just it was just terrible.
Yuck.
We were we can't drink this. So we ended up just squeezing fruit. And that's what really gave us the light bulb moment. I can't believe there isn't something already in the stores that could be bought that is
wild.
fresh and delicious and healthy. If you are able to make this by squeezing fruit, how come you can't buy it in a bottle?
Right.
And I'm sure you might know, but it's because obviously manufacturing something complicates the equation. But at that moment, Brian was like, I'm going to go on this journey and start this brand. And
so was it that night or did you wake up the next morning? What was the
we were on
aha moment?
That was the aha moment was
that
while
night.
we were there at the party. And later when we were driving back to we had a summer house at the time down the shore.
Okay.
And we were driving back and we were like, okay, this is crazy. We should definitely look into this and start with a mixer. Brian's like, we're going to do it.
So
I'm like,
where
great.
do you even start? Like the next day,
Google.
right. Our biggest research.
Full disclosure, both Brian and I really have a great palate. So we enjoy great food, great drinks.
I was going to say, so you were really self-proclaimed cocktail snobs.
Cocktail snobs
That went to
sure.
a party, were like, these are yuck, started making your own that were incredible. And then everyone wanted to drink yours. And then you missed the party because you became the bartenders.
Yeah.
And you went home and you're like, we're starting a company.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then slowly through
incredible.
the summer, Brian's definitely, because I was working at my current job at the time, he was taking on more of the like complete back of the end, like how to put this in a bottle.
What was
project.
like the first, like, I know you went on Google, but like, what was the first even step to starting this? Like, where does someone begin?
It was literally how to start a cocktail mixer.
Got it. Imagine you had
company.
ChatGPT then.
You know what? That would have been probably made life a lot easier.
Right.
But I remember that the first, you have to find a manufacturer.
Right.
You have to source the ingredients.
What was that process
And you have
like?
to find like a house that prepares like a commercial
Right, like a
recipe
kitchen.
for you. And for us, it's like we made things at home from Whole Foods. Like we went to Whole Foods and bought like different ingredients. And at the time, there was a pineapple fig flavor that was really bomb when we made
I never
it.
had it.
Yeah, so that's one of our first flavors, and we weren't able to really truly execute what we created in the kitchen because we couldn't source the same type of figs.
And that's what I love about you guys. So they're very, very particular, like we said, the cocktail snobs, in the best way possible. But they're so particular about their ingredients that if it doesn't taste right from the manufacturer, they're not putting it out. Like she said, went to Whole Foods, got the fruits, and were like mashing things in their kitchen to like make the best taste is.
And
the taste,
we bottled it. It was in our first run, and after like we just couldn't source this right. We tried it with the figs that were available, and after they weren't, like we just were not happy with the recipe. We discontinued that flavor. And we are.
That was the first one.
That was one. Yeah, the first one.
So what breaking into the beverage industry? Like, tell us what people don't see. How was that?
It's really extremely hard. It takes a lot of money. A lot of companies that are new companies have huge backings, and they pour a lot of money into marketing, social media, like influencers, to get the name out there. And a lot of times it's all about buzzwords. And people really jump on the wagon because of a buzzword. And they don't really truly like get the understanding of what is that amount of ingredient truly doing for you. Is it doing anything or not? For us, it was just, neither one of us had truly like an endless bank account to pour into this. It's a very capital intensive business. Yeah. Like you said, we had to figure out how to create the recipe, the commercial recipe that can go in a bottle. How do we source the ingredients? And then how do we find a manufacturer that can produce a tasty product? And that's where we got stuck, and we had to end up paying like thousands upon thousands, I mean, tens of thousands of dollars to our first manufacturer in Vermont, who was literally like a shark eating the little new business.
Oh my gosh.
Owners. It was really sad actually to see, because as a young business owner,
advantage.
They knew that the process didn't work for this type of product.
Right.
They essentially like the product has to be, because our Dirty Pelicans don't have any preservatives in them. Right. So when you're buying, they don't have, actually like a lot of sugar. They're organic. Yeah. Everything is sourced is organic.
The shelf life.
The shelf life is about 18 months.
Which is incredible. And when you open it, though,
it goes in the fridge.
Yeah, but like 3 weeks. Like,
3
it's
weeks.
Real stuff. Like,
it's real stuff.
There's no preservatives. So, yeah, tell us, like, obviously that's a huge differentiating factor. But what sets Dirty Pelican apart from other mixers?
It really is the freshness. Everyone that tries it will let us know that the product tastes extremely fresh, and we take pride in that because, like you said, we do source the best ingredients. The lychee one, for example, is sourced a year in advance before the lychee has even grown. Yeah, I love
this. So tell them about the lychee.
It's organic lychee. So
like they're not even grown yet.
No, and we have to put the order in way ahead of time. And so as you can imagine, we don't know how much we're going to be needing to like make.
2 years ago you came out with this one?
Yeah.
I remember, and I didn't get a bottle from the first round.
Right.
I waited a year because they really only made what they sourced. Like nothing fake came into this.
Yes, exactly. And, like I said, the recipe calls for no preservatives.
Right.
It's easy to add something in there to make it more shelf stable, the color more stable. Sometimes the color will vary. And we don't do any of that because we are trying to stay true to our brand. And, this first manufacturer, unfortunately, burnt the product. So we had to literally toss everything that we produced. This is real life. Like it happened to us. We spent, I think it was something like over $40,000. And we had to throw all the product that came from that out. Yeah, very, very tough.
Did you cry? I would have like...
Again, this is where that positive mindset comes in. Brian and I were like upset about it, but we had to say that, okay, this is part of the journey.
Yeah, it is.
It's an expensive lesson.
The failure, exactly. It was your tuition to school of making Dirty Pelican.
Exactly. And what helped actually tremendously is that Brian did an online course with the Wharton School of Business when we were
we talked about this.
Founding Dirty Pelican. And we had to do all this paperwork and numbers and like put all these things together. And doing the class really helped keep us on course with what we needed to do as a new business.
Right.
He actually won second place.
Incredible.
The first place was like a business that was already kind of established. It was like an Airbnb in India.
Oh, so Dirty Pelican won second place.
Oh,
right, because they do like real
businesses that were live.
That's incredible.
We were very young at the time. So I'm behind all the projections, the inventory, all the like stuff that no one wants to do. But I'm the one creating the calculators.
You're the good with numbers and you're organized.
The Excel person here.
You are.
So I would do a lot of that. And then from there, we just kept trying manufacturers. So then we eventually found one that was better. And then now we have like a really great...
And that's who you're like set with and working with.
Yes, a really great manufacturer that we work with. They're incredible people.
They understand your vision.
And they help us. And we are forgiving with one another. Right. Because we know that they're human, we're human. Sometimes they make mistakes. Sometimes we make mistakes. We always look for, okay, how do we fix something?
I mean, that's a huge key part to business, the forgiving part. Like even in real estate, we are leading this team, my father and I, and we have all these agents, and like we're both going through this together at the same time for the first time, right?
Yeah.
Like maybe, my father's been doing this for 40 years, but it's the first time we've scaled to the number we are today and have like a full team that are under us of employees and agents and a full operation. So like we're learning this at the same time. And we both have to understand that, like you said, forgiving of one another when these mistakes happen or failures, and just learn from it. Choose to know, okay, our heart's in the right place. We both want the same end goal. How do we learn from this mistake and move on?
Yeah. And I mean, that happens not only with us as the company and our manufacturer as the manufacturer. It happens with Brian and I, because actually that's a whole topic on its own. That
part 3 is going to be
navigating like business,
working with your husband. Yeah.
Yes.
I love that. Give me your biggest oh shit moment when launching, like the good moment. Like we talked through the trials and tribulations. Like what was like you and Brian looked at each other and you're like, oh my God, we made it, or this is amazing.
We always had like a lot of little moments like that. It wasn't never like one big moment that was like, oh my gosh. And we still haven't gotten there. Maybe it's coming.
I think it's coming.
Yeah. When Coca-Cola or Pepsi decides that will be our big moment.
Yeah, then it'll be commercialized. They'll put preservatives in it. No,
well, for us, it's really been a lot of little moments.
Right.
One of the greatest things the greatest moments when we feel the most joy is when people tell us that they already have it at home before
Isn't that
they've
amazing?
ever met us. I definitely think that's like our favorite thing. When someone tells us that they saw it at a friend's house, or they were at a gathering over the weekend and they saw it at the gathering. They used it there.
Right.
That is really our like favorite thing to
Were you and Brian engaged when you started, or this was before that?
It was before that.
Okay, so like, yeah, we're saying that's a little moment, but for like a couple that was boyfriend and girlfriend at a party down the shore that decided to make this company, and then they're engaged, and then they're having a child, and then it's a product in a store, and then having someone say, oh yeah, we carry that, that's in my bar, like that is a huge moment.
It's a huge
that
moment.
is.
Yeah, it's been, an ongoing, like never-ending roller coaster ride. There's many great moments. There's many difficult moments.
Yeah.
But overall, I think at the end of the day, when we hear those stories, or when someone tastes our product and says, oh my God, this is amazing, or when Brian gets that email or a text message, because believe it or not, he still responds to everyone that reaches out to the company, that, oh my gosh, like you're out of this flavor, but I need it. Like, when is it going to be available? Or we are using this in our wedding as our signature cocktail.
Why didn't I do that?
Those are like...
We would have had to import them to Italy.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's
okay,
why.
Sorry, continue.
But those are like the really incredible moments that make it worth it for us to keep going. In the difficult times when we're like, I can't believe it, this business is so difficult. There's just so much money that is needed to navigate the path forward, because competition is like endless. Everyone, there's so many. And there's so many brands out there backed by celebrities that already have such a huge following on social media.
And they just get the following because of who they are,
and not
it's
because
easier.
of what's in the Yeah, and for us, it's a struggle. However, as I always say, easy come, easy go.
Right.
So for us, we're not in it for the quick flip. And hey, we're gonna make some money and that's it. So we're in it for the long haul. We want to create.
Like you're on this ride.
Yeah, we want to create something that's impactful in a positive way for people. Because Dirty Pelican is not only is served as a cocktail, is also a mocktail. So for people that are not drinking alcohol,
or are pregnant ladies,
exactly. While I was pregnant, this is all I was drinking, and I never felt like I was missing out on anything. I always had like a fancy cocktail in hand, but it wasn't a cocktail; it was a mocktail.
Yeah. So those who aren't drinking or wanting to make a mocktail during pregnancy, or just want
breastfeeding, or anything really,
or a nice night at home, but not an alcohol hangover, even though you don't get hungover from this. And I don't know if I'm just biased, but like I am the official, unofficial, like
you are
mascot of Dirty Pelican. I mean, like, how many Adamo videos and text messages do you get from me of like making people videotape them trying the product?
I love that about you, that you're so supportive as a friend. And that's important, because like I was saying before, there are so many celebrities out there that have a following already, or influencers, and they come up with the brand because of why not? Of course, you already have like massive following. Why wouldn't you like capitalize on that? And they create a brand, and people just follow it just because, like it's coming from this person. And then somebody in their family or a circle of friends comes up with a product or something, and it takes that friend or family, person to so much more energy to create, because they don't have the same resources. And the support is not the same. It's kind of strange to me that the ones that are right there, it takes nothing to, let's say, like a post or share a post.
It's so easy to help your friends.
It's so easy, and it's just unbelievable that people
That's like episode 5. That's like some people.
I mean,
just,
there's a lot
so many.
So you are one of my friends that truly is like really behind us, and you know that the reason for it is because we truly believe in our product. It's not just a product to come up with just to make money.
Right.
I mean, the money is, of course, like what you're always going to look to make a living, but
of course,
it's a product that we stand behind 100%.
You believe in, and you're going to grow it.
And it's, it's 100% organic, low in sugar, because we only lightly sweeten with agave, just to make it to taste. But if you want a sweeter drink, then you would just
read these ingredients.
Yeah, go ahead. I mean, read the calories and then go down from
30 calories.
30 calories per drink.
Like, that's crazy. Normally, I feel like if you get a margarita at a restaurant or whatever, it's like
a lychee drink.
Oh my God, that's like a 200 to 300 calorie drink.
And it's always made with the canned stuff, which a lot of times I believe the canned products have like preservatives in them.
Yes, they do.
And you don't like really look at that part. You think it's like...
It's also just not good for your insides, and it gives you a headache.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have filtered water, organic agave nectar, organic lychee puree, organic lime juice, organic flavor, organic blossom flavor.
Yeah, so it's just it's
20% juice.
Exactly. So like I said before, the lychees do come.
Right.
We have to order them over a year in advance, and they haven't even fully grown yet. And
incredible.
We have to claim them because it's so hard to get organic lychees.
Right.
So unorganic, sure, but the organic is very hard.
Yeah.
And all of our drinks are under 50 calories and under 10 grams of sugar. That's something that we really take a lot of pride on.
Right.
Because, you go to a restaurant, and I find this myself, I want like a fun drink, and I read the drink description. It says raspberry puree, so on, and lemon and all these. And I'm like, wow, that sounds amazing.
Right.
And then I ask them, what's the raspberry puree?
Right.
People are so tricked by just the raspberry puree or strawberry puree or whatever that they think that's like something good.
They think someone's like muddling a raspberry. They're
it's
not.
all perception.
Right.
They're not. It's a syrup or like
concentrated syrup, a juice,
or finest call, which is like the cheapest stuff you could get. That's what most restaurants and bars are using.
Okay.
And you know what's really like unfortunate? That even like healthier restaurants struggle to serve something as healthy as Dirty Pelican. Because if they make it themselves, it's a lot of logistics trying to order all the different ingredients on top of your restaurant menu to now create this like elevated cocktail experience. But then they don't want to get behind something like Dirty Pelican because the price point is, let's say, too high for them. And it's like, okay, of course it's more expensive because, if you go to the store, your organic whole milk costs almost $8 for a half gallon compared to $4 for the regular milk. So it's the same thing with what's in this bottle.
It's an investment back into your body though.
Exactly. And, I think that people maybe just like they're starting to ask for more from restaurants. And that's why sometimes like I'll go out and I really just order a dirty martini because I'm like, I just want to keep things like, or slightly dirty, very little olive juice.
I get the lemon, squeezed lemon.
I used
lemon
to do
twist
that.
martini.
I would do like with lime,
Yeah, I'm like, because I can't, like, and then the drink sounds good, like you said, the puree, and then you get it, and it's like too sweet. Like, even beyond the health benefits of, like, say you're wanting to be like lose weight or be conscious of your calories, like that's one thing. But I just don't like sitting and drinking sugar. Like it just,
well,
like,
that's
I don't,
the thing. You won't even have a second one.
Not even about the calorie part. Like it just
tastes
like a
very overwhelming.
I don't like
I'd rather eat my calories than drink them. That's for sure.
Same.
I'll save it for the pasta.
Me too.
Give me a skinny cocktail because
and give
I
me the bowl of pasta
and the bread.
We do that well.
Yeah.
And like back to supporting each other's brands. Like Malvina is also an incredible support to the Adamo group. Like just always repping us. Like she said, it could even just be the liking or the comment.
Something small.
It's such a small, easy thing to do, but it really means so much to the business and to the growth and the exposure. And it just like always sharing my stuff. Like it's incredible.
I try my best.
You do.
Without,
like you're our mascot. Yeah. And like, it's not even about, okay, like we are loyal people, right? I'm a girl's girl. If one of my friends came out with something and it really was terrible, like I would pull them aside and tell them. But to everybody, I'd be like, this is the fucking best. And I'm not even just saying that. Like if I didn't know you, I would be repping this. Truly, I just love the brand. It's an amazing product.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And like you said, it's important that when you do have real, true friends, it's important to also bounce back negative feedback, but in a positive way.
Exactly.
Because at least you express your opinion and you know what your thoughts are.
Right.
Now, it's up to your friend, of course, to decide whether they're going to keep going or you're wrong or whatever it is.
I love when people give that to me, but like you deliver in a very like constructive way.
You have to do
that it doesn't feel negative.
And at the end of the day, I may give you advice that you might not like.
Right.
And that's fine. But at least, like I said to you before, within me, I always feel good about everything that I do because I know that it came from a good place.
It's authentic.
It came from a good place. And there was no harm meant by it.
Right.
And that's it. That's all I can do is be the best version of myself.
And show up as that person.
And show up with the best intentions. And where that goes and how you take it, that's kind of like on you.
Well, hats off to you because you do it very well. Okay, I'm going to now we're going to spill some tea on Tea with V on the upcoming classic skinny margarita. Tell us about it.
Ooh, so we have 2 flavors coming.
Right.
And before
Two flavors? I didn't know that.
Well, one is a staple, one is not. So that's why you don't know about that yet. But and I wanted to leave something for
the imagination. A teaser.
The unexpected.
Right?
You wanted to spill real tea here.
Yeah, let's spill tea.
Let's spill tea. So we have our current flavors, which is the spicy margarita made with real jalapenos inside the bottle.
Oh, and you know what I love about that one? Like when you shake it in the you see the bits of the lime.
That's intentional.
Yeah.
And it took a lot of effort.
And jalapeno, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most manufacturers did not want to do
Why?
that flavor because it gets stuck in their like machinery and it's hard to clean out and stuff like that.
So they're lazy.
Well, whatever it is, you know?
Again, disclaimer. Nothing we said is factual. It's our opinion.
But it might not work for their business model. And so we had to run into those issues and search for a manufacturer that was willing to help us with ensuring that we stayed true to our vision.
Yeah.
And that was part of staying true to our vision. So we have the jalapeno margarita. We have the mango passion fruit margarita, which is so good. And I mix it with the jalapeno to make like a spicy mango.
That.
I love that.
Because I love putting, is it tahini?
Yeah, on the rim.
On the mango? No, on mango. So I think I would love that. But yes, on the rim too.
You could do it on the rim.
Yeah.
Mix the two, one part of each.
I'm going to do that.
With
Okay.
some tequila. Yeah, we should do
And
it.
then and there's a blossom. No, this is the blossom.
There's the paloma.
The paloma.
Elderflower paloma.
I love that
so
one
good,
too.
refreshing. It's
I like
just
that
very
one with
nice.
tequila.
Yeah, that is really good with. And Brian has it with
gin.
mezcal.
Oh, mezcal. I've never tried
Gin.
that.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
a
good
big
with
gin
gin.
person. Big gin person. So
Gin's
I
the
do
least acidic alcohol, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it's pretty good.
I didn't know that actually, but I
Yeah.
do love gin, and I have my martinis with gin when I'm out, and they don't.
I
have
think I'm
Dirty
going to
Pelican.
switch to that.
You should.
Okay.
Okay, so we should go for a cocktail.
Oh, yeah. We should actually be sipping a Dirty Pelican.
Exactly.
Okay.
We'll do that, I guess, whenever you're ready.
I'm ready now because we are not finishing these questions without a cocktail.
Okay, perfect. Let's get it.
Let's mix it up. We are back. We have our cocktail set up for the infamous Dirty Pelican. And this is my favorite one of all of them, even though I can't choose favorites because they're all so good. But
Everyone asks me, what's your favorite? And it's like,
you can't pick.
I can't pick. It's
I
like
would
having
say
children.
your mango, though. Like, you like that.
Well, it depends what mood I'm in, actually.
Yeah, but I will never turn this down. Okay, so while Malvina whips us up a Dirty Pelican cocktail, and she's going to continue spilling the tea, because I'm going to ask you 2 last questions on business, and then we're going to switch over to some fun stuff.
Okay, sounds good. And I think that while I make it, maybe I just sneak in there how easy it is because
tell them.
Yeah,
Let's do that.
Part of the whole reason is that it's supposed to be not only good and fresh and delicious and no preservatives, but also it has to be easy to make so that you're not like sitting there spending so much time and trying to figure out how to make a cocktail.
No, you're literally
you can enjoy it anywhere you go. You could bring it to
Yeah.
an event. You can have it with friends at your house. You can have it by the pool. It really is super easy, and everyone can mix with whatever they want.
Right.
The freedom to just be like
Today we
versatile.
chose gin.
We've chosen gin, and we're both gin girlies.
Yes.
But if we weren't, then you can mix it with vodka.
Vodka.
I can mix it with gin.
Yeah, perfect.
We can everyone's happy.
Everyone can be happy.
And it's so easy. It's just I do 2 parts to 1. So 2 parts of mixer, 1 part of alcohol.
Okay. And we got your little props there.
And if you're doing a mocktail, you could just top it with like soda,
Right.
if you want, just to give it a little
so
bubbles.
also like when I had these at like my Christmas party or when we were hosting like just at Michael and I's house, the bartender, it was just like whipping it up. It's not like mixing like 5 million things to make a cocktail. It's so easy.
It's supposed to just ease the experience of having an elevated cocktail no matter where you are.
All right, well, I'm getting really thirsty. So.
Okay, so you want to open the bottle?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. I'm going to start by pouring the gin in, and then I'm going to add 2 parts of lychee for each one of us.
And I always put an ice cube in the glass to like chill it up.
So we've got the ice in here, and I'm going to take the gin. So I'm going to pour in 2 parts. I'm going to do the little one.
Okay. Thanks, Evan. Okay.
And that's like I'm like bending. 1, 2, 3. Okay, 3 parts gin.
Thank you.
And then with the same measure that we did the gin, I'm going to add the. Did you give it a good shake before? Okay. I'm just gonna.
I've been grabbing it the whole time.
Yeah, I know. So before using it, because it settles,
Right.
since
Okay.
it's all natural product,
Give it a
just
shake.
Good shake.
Perfect. I'm going to reapply my lip gloss.
Perfect.
Oh, yeah, here.
Oops. Okay. So 1 part. So
See, she really can do it all. Let me ask you. What is one thing that you wish you knew before starting the business? Tough question.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of things that I wish I knew. How much money and energy it would take. Mm-hmm. And how many ups and downs there would be. Nobody really prepares you for the challenges that you do encounter.
Right.
And it's a lot.
And that's with anything in life, right?
That's with anything in life. It's a lot. One of the things that we really thought that it would be easier to get the message across, because everything in the market was just so crappy and filled with sugar and unhealthy ingredients.
Right. When you're meeting like-minded people, right? Or like say, I'm like, yeah, no, like obviously this makes sense.
Yeah, but I guess the challenge for us was that one way to really get the product out there is by being on restaurant menus. And like here in New Jersey, we are on the menu at the Capitol Grill and
my favorite restaurant.
And the River Palm.
The River Palm, which I'm always at. And every time I go, I have to take a picture and send it to them. But the jalapeno margarita is there.
And the lychee, too.
Well, that leads me to, okay, our last and final business question before we get into the fun and we're sipping. The biggest business lesson that punched you in the face. Like, what were you like, oh, my God. Didn't realize that would be so hard.
Well, it's the restaurants, really. That is
really?
Yes, because we didn't think it was going to be so hard to convince the restaurants to offer a better option.
Right.
It sounded really easy to us.
Do you mean getting into the restaurants or having them
like having the restaurant offer these cocktails?
And so why?
I guess just a little background is that the brand got out there because Brian would go and knock on doors,
right?
Like liquor stores, restaurants, bars. You name it around New Jersey.
Lesson, real estate is the same. Sales is sales.
Sales is
so you're door knocking, it's the same thing.
It's the same thing. He was relentless, going everywhere and trying to, do the tastings and talk margins with the shop owners. And, we have been in situations where like people didn't want to pay us. And, it's just really unfortunate.
They just would be like, oh, we'll carry your product.
Yeah, like they would buy the products and then just like end up not paying. And
it's
you
horrible.
have to chase them. And it's insane.
Yeah.
They can't do that with the big distributors.
Right.
And so everyone picks on the little guy, which is
That's terrible.
But for the most part, we've done pretty well. But the challenge has been that the restaurants, you think, who wouldn't want to serve a drink that is healthier for you, that it's quicker to make? Because instead of you as a bartender having to sit there and squeezing everything, you now have a product that is really great quality and it's easy to make. So why not?
Right.
And you could put it on your menu that's like 120 calories, including the alcohol, compared to 250, 300 calories for some of the cocktails that are currently on menus. And then on top of that, consistency. Have you ever gone out or, and you have a cocktail and it's good and then the second one is horrible?
Yes.
Yeah, so...
Okay, wait. So recently we went to, and I won't mention, but a very famous steakhouse in the city that everyone raves about that is like, no, and you can't be a steakhouse and not have a good dirty martini.
Of course.
And that's easy, right?
Easy.
There's only one way you can fuck that up, and it's serving it like warm. And I always say, like, not to be annoying, but like I like extra, extra cold. Like you want that crisp
That's part of it. It's like adding something, like an ingredient.
I said it like maybe, I was like, please make sure it's like even leave ice on top, whatever. And it was warm. And I asked them again if they could redo it to make it colder. And it came back just as like this warm glass of water.
Oh, no.
And I'm like,
sorry.
And it ruins the experience.
It's such a simple thing, right?
And then I didn't want to order one, but if you ordered it again, like it's not going to, you're right. They don't taste the same. The consistency is off.
Yeah. So those are three simple things. I mean, the taste, the calories, the ease, right? And with the ease goes the consistency.
So you're eliminating that for restaurants.
Yeah, like it really is in an effort. We don't have to, because sometimes some restaurants that are like higher end restaurants take pride in the cocktail making. So it's not like we're trying to eliminate that process, but we're trying to just make it so that there is an organic cocktail option on the menu for people that are looking to get that. Right. A skinny version of the cocktail for people that are interested in that. Right. So it's like, you can have a section there that's dedicated to that will please so many people, right? And also make things easier for you so that you could function better as a business. you know, you can upcharge for the healthier version, the skinnier version.
Like, why aren't you serving quality?
Yeah, and you know, it's crazy
Is
to
it
me.
the price points?
How many? Yeah, so there's restaurants are all about the bottom dollar, most of them, and so if it's too much money per drink, they just write it off just because they can make it for pennies by using syrups.
Right.
And so you can't compete with that. As a
Right.
brand, there's nothing you could say to someone that is saying no because this will cost me $2 and change.
Right.
Instead of 25 cents for,
Yeah,
you
you're
know?
like cutting corners, but you're serving
And
non-quality.
It's incredible how many really high-end restaurants, even here in New Jersey.
I don't even want to know.
You don't want to know.
Well, I have to shout out, because I love shouting out on this, to two of my other favorite entrepreneurs, but restaurant owners, Vittorio and Kim Lonnie's, with their food. They are so passionate about where it's sourced from. Like, literally, the blood orange in one of the drinks is from Sicily. Like, the fish is sourced from, like, you know, just the best of the best places. He doesn't cut corners on that. It doesn't make the prices cheap, but you're eating quality food.
Yeah.
And I'd rather that all day long.
Exactly. I mean, people are going out for an experience,
Right.
you know? So you want to eat great food, have a great drink. And, you know, there's countless times where I've gone out and had only one drink because the quality wasn't
Right,
there. It was
right.
too sweet or, you know, and recently I was at a friend's birthday and one of my friends was she ordered a mocktail actually.
Okay.
And she tasted it and it was horrible. And I said, "Are you going to order another one?" And I filmed her. I was like, "I'm filming you." She's like,
Yeah, you have
"No,
to show
I'm not
that.
having a second one." And it's because it wasn't good.
Right.
Now that restaurant, that person that could have ordered another one,
Right.
could have ordered 10, 20, 30 more, like across the board. If you have 30 people that now didn't get the second cocktail.
And you're
because-
losing money.
and
So
you're
you
losing
think
money.
you're saving money,
But you're not.
but you're not. You're
And-
you're
and
losing, and you're losing the customer.
Exactly. And it's incredible how many people just don't get that, which is such a simple
I know.
lesson.
Quality over quantity.
And speaking of shout outs, there is this girl that Brian and I know. He met her at one of the restaurants
Yeah.
that she was working at the time. Her name is Samantha, and she has brought Dirty Pelican everywhere she goes.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and they recently have opened a new restaurant. It's called Miko's.
Oh,
Old
that's on
Japan,
my
I
list.
believe, in the area.
Yeah.
So we have to go there.
So that's the owner of Verona
Yes,
in
exactly.
Norwood. And my parents just went, and Tommy, they said it was incredible. My dad
Yeah,
knows
so
a chef.
big shout out to Tommy and to Sam.
And we'll come visit you, and we'll have some Dirty Pelican there.
Exactly. So
Are they?
get
Do they
it.
have it at Verona?
I don't remember if they. I think maybe for a brief period.
If
I'm not
you
sure.
don't, you should.
Yeah.
All right. And so my note to all the restaurants, the lounges, liquor stores, if you're not carrying Dirty Pelican, are you even really having a good cocktail? No. But here's what we're doing for you. Here's what I think I'm part of the company.
You are.
I really do.
You are. We love you.
So here's what Malvina and Brian are doing for you.
You're very good at articulating this.
They are serving your clients quality product. They're going to come back and order a second cocktail.
Because it was so good.
And they're saving you time on making the cocktail.
Absolutely.
And you're going to get repeat business. There you
It's
go.
going to be consistent.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
All right, let's have some.
All right. So this has been marinating. in
Yeah. I'm like
we'll give it a good shake.
seriously thirsty at this point. It is Friday. This week has felt like 2 years.
I know.
I want to know if Dirty Pelican was a celebrity, who would it be?
Michael Jackson.
No, really?
Well, in
Tell
his
me why.
heyday,
Tell me why.
because he was the greatest
Like
to ever
80s,
do
90s
it.
Michael Jackson?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was the greatest to ever do it. I
Yeah.
mean, his moves are and his songs are a staple. I mean, I don't know. I just think that Michael Jackson was a great one. Yeah, and timeless.
Yeah, timeless.
Yeah, think about. I feel like
We're talking about old MJ.
old MJ for sure. Hot cheers.
Okay. I love it. Salud.
Salud. To Tea with V. Thank you for having me.
This is some real tea with V we had today.
Yeah, this is gonna be good.
Oh my God.
That is so
I swear people would think that I'm being paid to rep this brand.
You're
It is
not.
my favorite.
We do not have the budget to
No,
pay
like
Victoria.
and I'm just like a self-appointed mascot and part of their company. Spokesperson. It is so like it's literally smooth. It's
tastes
incredible.
Like spring in a glass.
Oh
like,
my
it's just so
God.
good.
Like my head is singing.
I'm so happy that you feel that way.
Yeah. Oh my God. I'm just going to be busy drinking that. Is my dad back? Because he definitely needs one.
I know.
It has been a week. Okay. Now for the fun stuff. Fun and interactive. Let's get dirty. Like the Dirty Pelican itself. Also, wait, fun fact.
Tell me.
About Dirty Pelican. You know it. You're going to tell them. So we recently, or no, did we recently come up with that name?
Oh my gosh, we were going to talk about the new flavors.
No, wait. Oh yeah, we're bad. We have
yeah.
but no, the mascot's name. Didn't he?
Oh, Elvis.
Wasn't he named at the launch party?
Yes.
Okay, so
we should talk about
at
that.
the Adamo Group launch party, obviously Dirty Pelican was our sponsor for the bar, and those were the cocktails. And there's like, as you could see here,
there's a little pelican.
There's a pelican, right?
And that's our logo, really.
Yeah, and they have a big cutout neon
we have like a neon sign.
Yeah, neon sign of
like
the pelican. And for some reason, after many Dirty Pelican cocktails, he was named at the party.
Well, we were actually leaving the party to go to Melissa's house.
Yes,
and we were in the
for the after party.
Blaine and with Alex,
my brother.
Yeah, our brother. And we were talking about it. And I don't know how it came up that we should name the neon cutout. And I think Blaine said Priscilla, and I said, I think it's definitely a boy. So I said, it's Elvis.
Blaine, dying. She comes up with good names.
Yeah, she does. So I was like, this is great.
Elvis.
Yeah, because I was like, it's definitely not, it doesn't look like a girl. Like the pelican's definitely a boy.
He's a boy.
Yeah. And I was like, okay, so Priscilla, like quick there, Priscilla,
love that.
Elvis. So I was like,
I actually didn't know that's how he was named. Yeah.
And we were like, oh my God,
Genius.
Elvis is a great name. So now we literally say, we're bringing Elvis with us.
Is Elvis coming over tonight?
Elvis is.
Okay, wait. So the Dirty Pelican celebrity, it's not MJ, it's Elvis.
It's
and even more classic.
Yes, you're right.
Right? He's Elvis.
Wise men say.
So more romantic. It's our vibe.
It is. They're both good. They're both good.
Rush. Okay.
Yeah.
Tell us why the name is Dirty Pelican. Help. Falling in love. It's not. I've had one sip of a cocktail and I'm ready to do karaoke.
Dirty Pelican will make you sing.
Yes. Actually, no joke. The last time we were drinking Dirty Pelican, I actually ordered a karaoke machine to be Instacarted.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so now we have to karaoke.
Yeah. Okay.
Definitely.
Tell us why it's named Dirty Pelican.
So we were trying to come up with a name, and Brian was like, we'll call it, because it had to be simple, right? Like it's something simple. Dirty Pelican is simple. It's easy ingredients that we all have in our households. Right. It's a simple cocktail. So let's call it Simple Mixers.
Okay.
And we couldn't trademark the name.
Okay.
And he was so upset that we couldn't do it Simple Mixers. But then we were like bouncing names, like what else could we use? And we're like...
Sorry to interrupt. Can we just raise your mic a little bit?
Sure, sorry.
No, you're good.
Yeah,
I can come help you.
Okay, I think I got it. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's good. Yeah, they're just very...
delicate. Like a flower.
Perfect.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, so we were just thinking, like, what should we name it? What should we name it? And he was just saying random names. And then he was like, you know what? White Claw was like a big thing at the time. And he was like, if I had told you that White Claw was going to be a thing, like, you would tell me, like, I'm crazy. Like, what is that? What does that even mean, White Claw?
Right.
So as he's bouncing random names, we're like, Dirty Pelican. And we're
it just,
like, oh my God. And it had to be that it sounds good when you tell someone to grab it. So can you grab some plank at the store? So you would say, can you grab some Dirty Pelicans at the store? So now you would know right away what Dirty Pelican is without having to be like,
you guys
what
are
is
marketing
that?
geniuses. It also sounds like intriguing. It's a little sexy. It's a little like scandal.
You know, like,
I want to know more.
Yeah, there's that cocktail relation because it's like a dirty martini. And like I said, if I'm not having a Dirty Pelican because the restaurant doesn't offer it, then I'm going for the dirty martini.
I love all of this.
And so I think there's definitely all these like connections.
It's perfect. It's really perfect. Okay, now we are going to rapid fire some questions. So I'm going to ask and you're going to go.
Ooh, okay.
And I know we both have the gift of gab and we could keep talking, but we're going to rapid fire. What is your go-to Dirty Pelican drink?
Ooh, maybe I do like a mix of mango and jalapeno. They're all my go-to, but...
Yummy. What is the weirdest way that someone's used Dirty Pelican? You have to have a story.
I don't.
Don't tell me it's in the bedroom.
I don't know the weirdest way. I don't know. No one has shared that with me yet.
Okay.
Nothing juicy
It will
there.
come.
Sorry. It will come. Maybe by next time.
You know, it could be the weirdest idea someone's had for it. My dad's idea that he pushes on you and Brian every time.
Oh, the baby food.
He wants to come out with Baby Pelican.
Baby Pelican.
Mocktails for babies. Is there a market for that? Anyone let us know. Drop a comment. Should they come out with Baby Pelican?
Should we come out with Baby Pelican?
Favorite alcohol-free hack for non-drinkers or mocktails or for pregnant ladies?
The hack is that right now there's a lot of brands out there pushing a lot of different things that need mixed. And in reality, our mixers are intended to mimic the cocktails, so you don't really need anything else.
Because like I don't taste the gin, so it's not like you need anything to mix it with.
You don't need anything to mix with it. The only thing you could do is maybe add a splash of soda. And if you really truly want something that tastes kind of like alcohol, there are non-alc brands out there that offer like an alcohol-free spirit.
Okay.
Like a Malve tequila is one of them that I've used in the past to make like a mocktail. Whenever I want to really like go into the vibe of making a full cocktail, but there's no alcohol in it.
Oh, I like that.
But otherwise, for ease, I say just ice and a shaker.
On the rocks even.
The shaker gives you like really the experience of a cocktail.
Right.
Yeah.
Also, I love Malvina. For Valentine's Day, we had champagne with a splash of this. So if people want to do like something with bubble and just splash it, it's really delicious.
That's really one of my favorite things.
Like you could do a Pellegrino in a champagne glass with a splash.
Exactly. Or you can do, there is now like Mionetti Prosecco.
I saw that.
Yeah, that they have a non-alc version. Right. And so if you can grab that and you can top it with Dirty Pelican, it really changes like the whole like mimosa vibe. Instead of just plain OJ, we have really just done a great job by mixing the Prosecco or champagne with the lychee, the mango, the paloma. And this brings me to our next flavors that are coming out. Quick, I know we're in rapid fire, but we got to sneak this in here.
All right, tell me, what are the flavors coming out?
So we have 2 new flavors coming out. One is seasonal. It's going to just be here for like Easter, really, and then it's out. It's the strawberry peach Bellini.
Is that the one I guessed on your Instagram? Yeah.
Yes.
Strawberry peach Bellini, yum.
And I know when people think strawberry, you think like overly sweet, and like this is not the case, because if you actually muddle real strawberries and try to make a drink yourself, they're not overly sweet and like sugary. That taste is like I'm not sweetness. Sure who came up with that taste, but
yeah.
So ours tastes really fresh, and there will be like
I have 5 of them for Easter?
We'll see. We have very limited amount coming to the house, actually. So I don't know if I can accommodate
at least 1.
5, but yes, 1. We can
one Christmas, I don't think, or holiday season. I don't know if it was maybe last year. They did pomegranate.
Yes, that was for winter.
That was delicious.
So delicious. That is our.
We made a video of that.
Yeah.
Okay. Biggest holy shit moment in your career?
Oh my gosh, you can't ask this as a rapid fire question.
Just like one quick moment.
Sorry, drawing a blank here, but holy shit moment in my career. I will say that it's been when Dirty Pelican and my corporate job were both super busy at the same time. I literally didn't know what to do with myself. I was not sleeping. I was just up all night, and I was pregnant at the time, and I just didn't know what to focus my attention to first. Yeah. It was a lot to handle, and I said to myself, like, I can't believe this. Like, why am I doing all this for?
It makes you question it in moments like that.
Yeah.
So then you'd come over.
Yeah,
the
it
other
was
side.
definitely the time where I was heavily pregnant in my third trimester, and my corporate job that was like in
Oh my God, third
season.
trimester, like ready to go.
Exactly. Like I was meant to like rest,
Yeah.
and instead I was like overly
The busiest
busy.
you've ever been.
So that
Yeah,
was
that's
really
holy shit.
difficult. It was like
Well, speaking of being pregnant, what is one word to describe your parenting style?
just loving. I'm very loving.
You really are.
Yeah.
Oh my God. But it's hard not to be to that little man.
You know, he is incredible. He's incredible.
Yeah.
He's everything I pour into him, and he's just incredible because of he's so loving. I think that's like the most amazing thing for me.
Well, you guys made him that way.
Thank you.
Can I use one word to describe your parenting style?
Yes.
I love it. European.
Ooh.
In the best way. Like, that's my goal.
I love that. It's true.
It's like he's running around naked, like at the beach, like eating his pasta. He has his little tan. Like, it's carefree. You make it look very easy. But because I feel like you have a very European mindset about how you raise him, it's very admirable to watch.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
It's true. It is very, it's like kind of hands-free because I'm not trying to oversee every moment and like standardize every minute that he's breathing,
Right.
like you have to do this right now.
Right.
There's of course the structure of like when he goes to sleep, when he takes a bath, when he's eating.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, everything he's allowed to be free and just see what he enjoys. What does
Mm-hmm.
he gravitate towards? Like, and he's like very loving and affectionate. He needs a lot of like
Right.
attention, and I love giving him that.
Yeah.
But other than that, I let him just direct like where he wants to go.
himself.
If he wants to read, he'll grab a book and read. I'm not there like, okay, we have to
Right.
read now.
Not
It's 6 o'clock.
regimented.
I'm not very regimented.
Right. And also, like, when we had to, go to the restaurant to figure out the business, the planning of a party, like, he sat with us. Like, there,
As long as someone's playing with
exactly.
him, he's
Like,
good.
there was no revolving or stopping your life. Like, you integrated him into your life.
I think that's a very important point to make,
Yeah.
that you have children, and like for me personally, I'm not just a mom.
Right.
Like I've always stayed true to who I am as a person. And being a mom is just this one extra role that I take on. And he's the most important thing in my life. Like there's absolutely, like I
No
literally
question,
stare at him and I'm like, I can't believe I'm so blessed. Like I'm so grateful that I have you, and you are the most important thing ever. But like I am so many things in my everyday life, and
you
keeping
didn't lose sight of that.
Yeah, I did never, it was important for me to stay true to who I am.
I'm sure that's hard.
It could, motherhood can engulf you like easily. And so, but you direct things. And like I said, it's just about making time for everything that is important to you. Because I know it sounds like hard to believe, but staying true to yourself will make you a better mother overall, a happier mother. And a happier mother is what children need. And happy children is what the world needs.
Yeah. Well, I have a really good role model as my mother and you as my friend. So I'm excited for that next part.
And I'm grateful because I have a great role model as my mom as well.
Yeah,
Both
you
my
do.
parents were actually extremely loving. And I think that in life, whenever I look back to when I could have made really bad decisions, I just know that I didn't, because I thought of like my parents' love.
That's important. I love that.
Yeah. So I always think of them. It's like, no. And, this is like, how do I live life? I live life that way. I need to make sure that no matter where I end up in life, my parents and my offspring are never embarrassed to be like, oh, that's my mom or that's my child.
And keep like making those decisions, and those times it's your guiding light. Like
It's my guiding light.
Yeah. Tell us, spill the tea on what your guilty pleasure is, and we're not going to judge.
I have a lot of guilty pleasures.
I think I know one of them. I'm going to say one after you. Or should we say it at the
you
same
say
time?
my first one and I'll tell you.
Nutella.
Oh my God, yes. Did you know that? Because I literally go to the gym so I can eat Nutella. Like, this is bad.
Like, whenever we're texting and you're like, I'm going to have some Nutella. Like, it's
definitely, I try in moderation, and sometimes I have more than I should.
I think it's good for you.
Like, there's definitely some ingredients in there. This is where like, if I have to allow.
By the way, I'm done.
Okay, I need to sit.
Like, it's
So-
delicious. It's dangerous.
If I have to reserve where I allow some not so great ingredients
Right.
to sneak into my life.
It's Nutella.
Nutella tastes so good.
is.
It's just like incredible. And I try to get the European version whenever
Yeah.
I can, which is
Right.
better because
Yeah.
I don't know why we have different ingredients, but here we
That's
are.
another story, yeah.
I think we'll get there. We'll hopefully
too.
have the twin of the
The
European
change.
formula.
It's coming.
To America.
Yeah.
And but it is just like, it tastes so heavenly to me, and I will literally put it on bread, pancakes, or just
about
eat
off
it
the
out of the spoon. Yep.
All right, what's another guilty pleasure?
Coca-Cola. I know.
But
What
like
am I
the
doing?
real
The
one.
real. I have the glass ones with the cane sugar instead of
Yeah.
high fructose corn syrup.
Yeah.
So if you don't know the difference, I
Right.
mean, if you're definitely a crazy person like me, you'll know the difference.
Yeah.
They taste different. I feel less guilty. I know it's not the healthiest product, but I think that having real cane sugar as opposed to a highly
Oh, it's so
processed
different.
high fructose
Yeah.
corn syrup, it's very
We're
different.
not putting synthetic anything in your body.
Yeah, so like, that's my guilty pleasure.
Yes,
I do
it's
love
sugar,
a
but
Coca-Cola.
yeah.
I don't drink them every day. I mean, that's something I can't
But there's
overload
nothing
on.
like when you're in Europe and you have that first taste of a soda there, how different it is than here.
Yeah, and that's
Like,
why
oh.
I get the ones that are made in Mexico,
Yeah,
which is like
yes.
the tall
Oh my God, those are
glass
so good.
cane sugar. It's like the less unhealthy version. I love that. I'm a big Coca-Cola.
That's a good guilty pleasure.
Yeah,
That's my
so-
mom's.
And never diet, because diet stuff is made with like fake sugar, which
Yeah.
is actually worse for you than cane sugar.
We're the real
so-
deal.
We're the real deal.
Raw milk, whole milk.
Yeah, and you know what's crazy? Like a few years back, Poppy was just like the soda was just becoming a thing.
Yeah.
And Brian and I were going to our current manufacturer to produce, and we were landed in Vegas, and from there we had to take a road trip. And we stopped at Whole Foods to get like a couple of things, and this girl was running around like crazy trying to find Poppy soda, and I had never heard of it.
No way.
This is before it became like a thing
Right.
on social media. And she's like, oh my God, like, I haven't heard of this? It's all over social media. Like, it's got like probiotics or whatever. So,
Oh, yeah.
so
Pre-med,
then
yeah.
she like got the few that she found at that Whole Foods. And then one day I was at Whole Foods at home, and I was like, oh, I saw it. And I was like, oh, let me try this, because this girl was raving about
Right.
it. But as soon
And
as
all
I
of
tasted
Instagram.
it, it tastes like fake sugar. So for me, it was like, oh, a lot of brands are out there like, oh, no sugar, but
Right.
they're sweetening it with something
Fake
else
sugar.
that's actually worse.
So the marketing's tricking you.
yeah,
Or trying to.
yeah, and some people really enjoy the taste of
Yeah.
artificial sweetener. For me, like, I didn't. Yeah, I don't remember what was exactly in it, but I just remember my reaction.
You
to
could taste
that.
it.
Yeah, you could taste that. It wasn't like, it tasted like fake sugar.
What is the one thing people would be shocked to know about you?
I mean, I think we uncovered this already early in the episode, but people are shocked to find out that I speak 4 languages, and that
Yeah.
I've attempted to learn my 5th,
And
French.
that's French. Let's hear something.
Voulez-vous de boisson?
What did she say?
Would you like a drink?
Oh my God, yes, I would.
Fitting.
Oui, oui.
Oui, oui. Je voudrais de, s'il vous plaît. I would like 2, please.
Okay, so let's go to Paris next together. Okay, so to wrap this up, I mean, I wish I still had some more to sip
We'll
on,
make
but, like,
more, we'll make
It went
more.
down in 2 seconds.
I know.
Okay.
I'm still working on it.
What
Too much
is,
cooking.
for closing discussions, I had such a great time with you here. And we're only wrapping up because Evan and Adrina are looking at us and we've been talking for hours, but we could keep going.
We could keep going.
So we'll have,
There's a lot of important
stay
topics
tuned.
to uncover.
What is next for Dirty Pelican? I mean, I know you told us the 2 flavors coming out, but if you could paint for me like the vision of where this is going on you and Brian's horizon, where do you see this company going?
That's a really great question and a loaded one. And like you said, in the immediate future, we do have the strawberry peach Bellini coming out, which is it's a short-lived flavor just for like around the Easter time. And we have the skinny classic margarita that is also coming out, and that will be a staple in addition to our current 4 flavors. That will be our 5th sibling, and so very excited for that. We've worked really hard on nailing down that flavor. And we really are looking to grow and grow organically. Like I said before, easy come, easy go.
Yeah.
This
It
is
takes
very
time.
hard for us. It's a lot of years, a lot of sweat and tears behind, the scenes. We work a lot to ensure that every production is extremely delicious and the best that you could get. Brian does go to every single production and tastes everything before it's like
Right. Like they are hands-on. They are
This
involved.
is not a company we just slap our name and like let it go. This is something that we live and breathe. Brian literally wakes up in the middle of the night thinking of like what our current issue is and how to tackle it. And we really see ourselves just continuing to grow online and as well as in stores. We want to make sure that we are in stores across America so that people can have access to our products everywhere, because I really think that it could elevate every experience that people are having instead of just having just regular soda drink, you know? And so our goal is to go across the nation.
Global expansion.
And global, well, one thing at a time.
You should be like in resorts.
And you know, that was my next thing, is to be in bars and restaurants as well as resorts. There is some
that's major.
We really would love to be part of, because I think that our brand aligns with these certain types of resorts like in every way. And it would just bring another, like, you know, when you're on vacation, you want to continue that. Like, you're looking for a great cocktail, especially
and
on
the
vacation.
Continuity. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So you just have something that you have at home and you don't feel guilty about having that cocktail or mocktail, because you know what's in it. And really standardizing that experience, going from finest call, which is what restaurants and bars are mostly using at the time, going to something that if you go, you know, like when you order a certain spirit, you're just like, you know, that brand, and you like really like are aligned with their values, and you know it's a clean product. It's the same thing here. You want to know that if you see the name Dirty Pelican on the menu, that you can trust what's in there because you have it at home.
Right.
And so this is, like you said,
I just thought of a genius idea while you were saying that, so we'll have to offline about it.
Ooh, can't wait.
Involving hotels. Okay, so also, if you guys have any ideas, if you own restaurants, if you know owners of restaurants, if you work in them, if you know anywhere that Dirty Pelican should be and it's not, DM us, comment, link. Call to action is contacting Malvina and Brian at Dirty Pelican.
Thank you.
We will link everything. Also, Leonardo, who's been spoke about many times in this episode, has his own Instagram, so we will link him as well if you guys want to see how adorable he is.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
And what Malvina also does is, I spoke earlier about, is the styling you've been getting into, which I love, and their outfit ideas from high to low.
Very important, because like I said before, not everyone, most people actually don't have the budget that some of these like people that we see on Instagram and TikTok.
Or why do you, even if you do, some don't want to spend it on fashion trends.
Yeah, I mean, trends are incredibly hard to keep up with. So unless you have really deep pockets, like, you can't invest in pieces that
are classic looks.
You really just, you can't. And I'm firsthand, like, I'm experiencing the overwhelming feeling that everyone is putting out a million products, a million morning routine, a million evening routine, massages.
20 skincare products you're supposed to have, right?
Yeah, like, there's a lot out there. And unfortunately for me, I look at that and I say, I don't have time for all this.
Right.
I don't have the money to have somebody come to my house and give me a massage or a lymphatic drainage or whatever else.
Looks nice.
I just, good for you. Like, you're able to have it. But how are us normal people supposed to, you know, de-stress and not bloat and all these other things? Like, it seems unrealistic to me to have to keep up with all these pills and all these procedures.
Right.
I always try to simplify that. And like, it's hard for me, but like, I do look at whoever I follow. Like, I try to minimize the amount of people into only people that truly are bringing me value and
or that you align with.
And people that I really align with, because I'm not looking to overwhelm my brain and like buy clothes that I really like. It's not intelligent to spend all that much money on, or clothes that I simply will never afford. And it's like, that's nice that there's this crochet dress for $500 that I'm going to wear once or twice. But
exactly.
Like, it doesn't make sense for me. So it's important. Like, I will invest in certain pieces like bags or shoes because I have them for so many years. And it's important to know like which ones to like look for, so that you know that it ages well. But other than that, for my clothing, I really rely on like certain brands like Zara. I do go to Aritzia for like some nicer pieces. H&M is great for like some few pieces here and there. So I do definitely try to blend. And then I look for smaller brands. Like the other day I posted the dish pants. I
liked those.
And Meshki is like a great brand that's like a little bit more elevated and more unique pieces. But for everyday stuff, I think Zara is like just really helpful.
So follow Malvina for those tips.
Yeah, I'm here for like the real life experience.
Real life. If you don't want to be like breaking the bank, but you want to be looking real fine and classy. And also, what are good staples for your closet? what are going to last.
Yeah.
Then you can follow Leonardo because he's adorable.
I will be better about posting more
Yeah, you
about
have
him.
to because he's going to be famous. And then also follow Dirty Pelican and let us know what you want to hear on our next episode. But thank you for coming to spill all the tea and keeping it real. And I don't like to cheers to an empty glass.
Okay,
but...
so maybe pour a little lychee.
Okay,
in there.
okay.
Just pour it straight out of the bottle.
Okay. Okay. And this is how you drink it as a mocktail.
Yep.
Salud.
Thank you for having me. It was incredible. I always love spending more time with you and to do it and, try to be helpful to people in one way or another for whatever they're experiencing in life right now. I always, like I said, I always look at whoever I'm following along to see if there's anything valuable that is relatable to my real life because a lot of things just seem way out of reach for me.
Stimulation of information.
Yeah.
A lot out there.
Yeah. And there's like new outfits every single day. And it's like, I can't possibly buy everything. $500 pants, $400 shirt.
Right.
Like I can't, it's not
It's
possible.
a lot to keep up.
So how do you try to find like the few key pieces and then style those with something you
And
already
still feel
have
good
in your
about
closet?
yourself.
And feel good. I mean, that's very important.
Yeah.
Whenever I come out and I look good and I feel good about myself, it's a different experience.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that.
Thank you for spilling the tea. And that is the Tea with Fee
Thank
by
you.
Dirty Pelican and Malvina. And we'll see you next time.
See you.